Hi, I'm a new person on YouTube.
Hi, I'm an old person on YouTube.
I mean, I'd hardly consider you an old person on YouTube. We've been on YouTube for half our lives now.
Well, I'm still young, but I've been on YouTube about 5 years now.
I'm 10 years older than you, and 15 years older than you. And we've been on YouTube for 15 years now.
Not really new, but I'm trying to make a new show.
And it was one of the best decisions that we ever made in our lives. We made it to art school in Chicago, and unfortunately we are only able to get 1 year under our belt. We've done shows in and out over the years, but we're making more videos now than we ever did in high school when I looked like you, and especially when I looked like you when I was in young adulthood.
I don't know, it's gonna be like a talk show or something.
The term you're looking for is a vlog, babe.
You can post your ideas down below.
It's interesting how in the next 4 years, we would have 4 or 5 videos explicitly asking for video ideas. And in the past 7 months, I've made more than 50 videos, which originally took us a year and 4 months to do the first time around.
But while I do the show, I'm gonna be
Growing my hair out?
My hair's gonna come down to my chest.
Well, it's fucking there, bud. Among, other things that weren't there before. Nice things, wonderful things, things that I wish both you and you could have had.
I've cut it 3 times in the past 6 months.
It's been 11 years since I started growing my hair out again. Minus getting everything to one length and then adding the bangs in last July.
And I'm hoping to grow it more this time.
Well, we did. I added this undercut here in December 2023, and every 6 months I get it trimmed off.
And I'm going to grow it down to however long it stops growing at is when I'm going to stop growing it.
We'd like to have it down to a couple inches above the waist, if possible. Perhaps by my mid-30s, that'll be achievable. And I've got a good 6 inches cut off in the past 6-7 years. 6-7. And that'll be the only time that I ever do that. So you're lucky if you saw that. God, I wish I could reach in and tell you that you figured out why you feel so attached to your hair. And it's because you are a very stubborn, closeted, transgender teenage girl.
Well, I'm gonna start out with a couple things about me.
I'm going to start out with a few things about myself.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, younger me's. Go ahead.
My favorite music, Van Halen.
My favorite music is Van Halen.
My first love. Rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen. I really wish he was still here.
And Aerosmith.
Aerosmith.
I wish I could warn both of you about that Steven Tyler impersonator that absolutely ruined our lives. For you in 7 years and for you in 2 years. Still a great band, doesn't change their music, but just beware.
Foreigner. And Pink Floyd.
Look, it's the same poster. Youngest me, don't wait until your college roommates and college friends ask you about the poster and you don't know what it is. Please look up the movie The Wall from 1979. It is the biggest mind diddle ever. You'll thank me later.
Plus Queen, Toto.
We saw Toto in concert this year with our dad and aunt. It was amazing.
All sorts of other bands. I like a lot of that music like that.
Believe me or not, but despite you and you completely and fully hating rap music, this version of ourselves has gotten past those feelings and likes rap. Is getting into Machine Gun Kelly. And he does go between rock and rap, but it's still rap. And yes, we know he's quite problematic. We've just learned to separate the artist from the music. We've also gotten a lot into pop punk and pop rock, like Avril Lavigne and some darker stuff from Youngblood. But of course, we still love the classics, and we're getting into a lot of newer Bon Jovi and artists that are still making music now 40, 50 years plus. But those are the artists that we've been playing on repeat for like the past year and a half. It seems that hard times in life specifically line up into darker music, of which positive change has come into our lives because of it. Now, what did we get for our favorite foods?
Pizza with cookies and cream ice cream.
The Chicago deep dish pizza. I like the thick pizza.
We just got that from a wonderful place in Aurora near Chicago with our boyfriend. Yeah, I know you have just recently shoved off and ignored the first boy that ever took a liking to you, who is now, by the way, our best friend ever. And we were together for like 2 years in my earlier 20s.
And cookies and cream ice cream.
You've got to expand your horizons. Try it in a milkshake. Try it in cupcakes, brownies, cheesecake, Oreos. that doesn't exist yet for you. Because, yeah, it's been a staple in our life for a very long time. And what about TV shows? This should be interesting.
George Lopez all the way, man.
That 70s show, Scrubs,
I need to find a way to watch the reboot.
Breaking Bad, and The Big Bang Theory.
So this is me now. I still love that 70s show. Then there's Stranger Things, The Umbrella Academy, Orange is the New Black, Riverdale, Pose. Degrassi is a wonderful series. The Midnight Club, and then The Way Home, which I particularly like.
Movies, Larry the Cable Guy, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
God, kid, I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm gonna write you a prescription. Something you can use. It's a prescription for growing up and making movies or videos for life. I think you can use it.
Back to the Future for sure. I like The Butterfly Effect. I like Boyhood. I like The Giver.
We just got our own Roku and our own Netflix account. But we also just escaped survival mode. So we're literally watching just about anything. I wish I could warn both of you of all the heartbreak and the mental health struggles and just the feeling of being behind in life that I feel currently. That both of you, especially you, are about to experience. Now, what's a big get for books?
I don't really have any. What, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I guess?
I've actually written 2.5 books, to be honest. A novel and 2 novellas.
We published one of those books in December 2020 and wrote 3 others. And the third book is a complete redo of the one that you just finished in December. But I haven't touched any of them in a year. I'm so sorry, younger me.
I do like the celebrity memoirs, reading what my idols were like when they were my age.
And most of them, by the time they hit my age, or even younger, had all their kids. Now, I didn't even find out that I couldn't have kids until a year after you. But unfortunately, being a mature 15, 16, 17-year-old wasn't doing us any favors in the long run. Because unfortunately, emotionally mature children create the most behind adults ever.
Making videos in a bedroom and writing and not making any money.
I wish I could just slap some sense into you, because not only would it save an entire amount of heartbreak with the relationship that you're currently in, but it's putting you in a position where you can't physically transition without that job. And it certainly makes it feel like your transition to womanhood is behind a paywall.
I will be at different houses most of the time. I mean, I switch every 2 weeks.
I'll be at the same house for most of this, unless I somehow get a good job that I can move out and actually enjoy life.
I really, really wish I could actually slap some sense into you. You could actually be enjoying life at this point. But at least now we're making our videos in our very own apartment with an entire video room. Even though it's still a basement, it's not your mother's basement, it's someone else's basement that you're renting. So we've got money, we've got a good job, it's just that most of our money is going straight to our
Sex?
sexual reassignment surgery later this year. So wait. Why did my very straight, very cis, teenage boy version of myself say that
I'm gonna skip that one, okay?
I'm gonna skip that one, okay?
and you're technically out as trans, just not to your YouTube audience? I wish I could give you just some of the perseverance that we've had these past couple years.
I'm 15, and
A very deeply closeted transgender teenage girl.
I'm 20 years old.
And T-minus 5 years for estrogen hormone replacement therapy. And now we're 30 years old, almost 5 years on estrogen, and post-op almost a year and a half, 1 surgery.
I'm a sophomore.
I would be a college junior if I were still going to college.
I'm 13 years past high school graduation and 6 years past the point where I would have to resubmit my portfolio for college, of which I'd have to restart as a freshman.
Leave your ideas what I could do in my show. I can probably do almost anything.
I've done almost anything, and I will continue to do almost anything.
Well, you better get to it then, because after 15 years, you still haven't figured out how to get huge numbers. At least in the terms of how many followers or views or engagement that we have. And continuing to put our name out there so the whole world knows our story.
It's Grant Casual, signing off.
It's Jamie Casual, signing off.
And this is Andrea, also known as Trans Girl Meets World, signing off.